Hi, welcome to our weekly free psychic readings. My name is Marion Voy, and this week I'm going to be using the Mythic Tarot, and it's the original pack that I prefer, so that's the pack I will be using. If you would like to join me weekly for psychic readings, then please just subscribe. It's obviously free to subscribe to the channel, and I want you just to take your time and have a look at the cards that I have. So just take your time and look and see which card that you are drawn to. As you can see, there's 6 cards and they're numbered obviously from 1 to 6. So take your time, close your eyes, think of where you are in life, and then choose the card that you are drawn to, and then I'll tell you the meaning. So open your eyes, look at the card. Which card are you drawn to? So now we're going to have a look at the cards, and card number 1 is this card here, and it's called the Magician. And on this card you can see that the Magician is wearing a red cape across his chest, and you can see there's directions. So this card represents that you are perhaps at a crossroads in your life at the moment. The red energy indicates that you know that you are at the crossroads because you're feeling restless or agitated. And the thing about the Magician is sometimes it takes us a wee while to recognise that that is where we are. We just know that we feel unsettled and that we are not happy within ourselves. So if you've picked the Magician, take a moment to think what is causing the restlessness within your life at the moment. And on this card you can see there's a coin, there's the sword, there's the snake energy, and there's the cups. So you need to look at what is causing that restlessness. Is it emotional, and that you're not happy with what's going on in your life, with the relationships with people around you? Therefore you need to make a decision about how they are treating you and how you are interacting with them. If it's a sword, it looks at how you are mentally looking at the world, and it could be that you are stressed because you're feeling, I was going to say brain dead. In other words, that there's not enough challenge in you in your life at the moment. So is your restlessness, is it time to learn something new? Is it time to push the boundaries of yourself? If it's coin, it could be that you are unhappy with what's in your material life. It could be that you are fed up with where you're staying. You need a change of job, you need a change of car, and sometimes it isn't apparent what's causing that restlessness. But if we take the time to look deep within ourselves, then that restlessness or the cause of that restlessness becomes apparent. And very often, because the other energy that's there is your spiritual self, are you not allowing yourself time on your spiritual journey? Are you needing to take more time to meditate, to interact with spiritual people, to do self-healing, to learn, I'm going to say, spiritual practices that would allow you to feel peace within yourself? So if you've been drawn to the Magician, it's time to look at what is causing a restlessness within yourself. Look at that and change it, because if you're restless, unfortunately it will grow and grow. So do not allow yourself to become too restless. Make the changes that you need to make. So this was card number 1, the Magician. As you see, it's a lovely card. It's one of the major cards within the tarot. And I'm going to move on to card number 2, right? Card number 2 is also one of the major cards with the 22 of the Mythic Tarot, and it's called the Hierophant. And this card is very much about sometimes, how can I say, we can be in a wee hole or we're too embedded in what's going on with us materially. And the Hierophant wants to look at the spiritual side. He wants to raise his energy so that he is linking in on his intuition. It could be spiritual awareness, or it could just be the spiritual aspect of himself. And I love this card because it brings in a sense of victory or achievement. So you need to know that that is something that you can achieve. The other thing the Hierophant brings in, you can see the Hierophant has a scroll within his hand, and that brings in paperwork that you would be victorious in achievement. It can, the paperwork can be legal things, and it can also be if there's a course that you are doing at the moment, and you're maybe struggling just a wee bit and losing faith that you can actually achieve what you need to achieve in this course. Get to the end of it and get that certificate in your hand. So know that the Hierophant lifts you up out of a dark place to a sense of victory or achievement, so that you can feel, I'm going to say, chuffed within yourself and feel the confidence come back if you've lost some of your confidence. So this is the Hierophant. Again, one of the main cards that link in with the tarot pack that we've got here. And I'm going to quickly move on to card number 3. And here we have the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is about feeling, I'm going to say, comfortable in your own skin. And very often, especially, I was going to say as females, but that's maybe sexist, because I'm sure males have the same pressure in this day and age to, be thin, be fit, have the body, have the abs. And very often we are discouraged in life because we feel we should be, I was going to say a size 12, I wish. So it's about looking at being comfortable within your skin, because at the end of the day we can't all be the skinny bitch that walks about. So it's about accepting who you are, and if you cannot accept that, then it's about, I'm going to say, taking responsibility to do something about that. So the Queen of Pentacles, and she's lovely because she's about looking at your sensuality as a person as well. And I think if we look at that, then we can feel a joy, a passion within our lives. And I think very often what happens is we can be extremely critical of ourselves. And I don't think that does us any favours. So if you have picked the Queen of Pentacles, have a look at how you view yourself. I'm going to say in your mind, in the mirror, in your emotions. And if you are not happy, then change that. It could be that you just need to change your internal dialogue so that you are loving who you are as a person, because you will be surrounded with people that love you. So why criticise yourself? If others can love you, then you owe it to yourself to love yourself. So this is my Queen of Pentacles, and very often I find in a reading, she will come in where someone is looking to feel happy and contented within a work situation. So, and I think if we're happy and contented in what we do, work-wise, then that kind of spreads to other areas of our life as well. So have a wee look at what you need to do to be happy in your own skin. And I always say, never be frightened to make change, because change is what allows us to grow, to move forward, and to be who we truly are meant to be. So this is card number 3. If you were drawn to her, she's a beautiful card, and it's funny at the Queens, she's one of the more voluptuous queens, and voluptuous is good. So I want you to have a wee think about the Queen of Pentacles. And card number 4, let me see what we've got here. And card number 4 is the Knight of Wands. And on this card, you can see we've got the Knight, and below there are 2 animals that have been speared by an arrow. So I'm hoping you're seeing that card quite clearly. If you've been chosen or drawn to that card, the Knight of Wands, I feel, is very much about recognising the people that have perhaps wounded you in the past, and that it's a horrible feeling to be wounded, because it's almost as if we lose trust or faith in other human beings. So it's about recognising, just because someone has hurt you in the past, that doesn't mean that others will do so. And the Knight of Wands is looking at the anger that we hold on to because of the hurt. So if you have been drawn to this card, can you just have a wee look at the anger that you are holding on to that perhaps needs to be let go, so that you can find peace and happiness and contentment within yourself. And I know if you have been hurt, it's very hard to forgive another person, but on the healing path, sometimes that is an extremely good practice. They do not need to know that you have forgiven them, but you need to forgive them within your energy field, so that you're not being held back by anger and barriers that you are placing in your life at this time. So think about this card. If you're holding on to any anger, and we all do, then try and take the time today to let that go. And I'm going to quickly move on to card number 5 till I see what this, oh, and another Wands we've got. So here we have the 10 of Wands, and in this card you can see a figure who is representing yourself, and in here you can see by the expression, she's fed up. And it's funny, we spoke about anger, she is allowing her frustration in life to, I'm going to say, make her feel claustrophobic, make her feel powerless, and it's almost as if she cannot move for fear and anger of what has been built around her. The nice thing about the 10 of Wands is she can stand up and elbow these barriers out her way, and then her means of escape is here in the background. So this card is about having the energy, the momentum and the motivation to push everything out your way that is disempowering you, and the knowledge that you can escape this and move forward to, I'm going to say pastures new, to new beginnings. But sometimes we can sit in this space for a short time. Sometimes we can sit in this space for a long time. The choice is yours. So I would say, stand up, push these barriers away, and move forward with your life. And sometimes we just need to realise that we can do that. But when we're in a place where we are feeling, I'm going to say, depressed energy-wise, mentally, emotionally and physically, it's very difficult to find the strength to do that. But if you've chosen this card, you know you have that strength, and it's time for you to do it. So please do it. And card number 6, is another main card. And this card is called the Wheel of Fortune. And I have to say, I love this card because it kind of ties in with a lot of my beliefs. Because I believe that I am responsible for my every thought, deed and action. Therefore, I am responsible for who I am, what I am, and where I'm going. In other words, the Wheel of Fortune reminds us that sometimes good luck can come our way, but ultimately we are responsible for creating the luck, if luck is the right word, that is in our lives. So, and sometimes we can be at the bottom of the wheel where we feel, oh, things are dismal and that we're ready to lose control and fall off the bottom into a deep, dark hole. But you can see it's very much about using your intuition, your psychic energy, linking in with your spiritual energy to be determined to turn things around. And as we take that responsibility, then we can turn the Wheel of Fortune around so that we can reach this place where this Buddha is of finding peace, contentment, joy and love within our lives. And I think it's also about creating, I'm going to say, people in our lives that are in our energy field that are also on the same pathway as ourselves and understand the kind of Buddha energy or spiritual energy of giving and receiving. And I always think this card, because I've got the scissors in here, is about cutting ties with people that can be draining you in your life, people that you no longer need in your life. And it's just about cutting the ties, moving away from them. It does not mean falling out. It doesn't mean about being nasty or negative. It's just about recognising who and what is important in your life and turning the wheel around so that you are within that energy, so that you can find that peace and joy within yourself. So that's the cards that we have worked with this week. Next week, I think I may work with Flower Tarot, and we'll just do the same as this week. I'll put some cards together. You choose what you're drawn to, and I'll tell you what the meanings are. So if you've enjoyed what we've done today, then please hit the subscribe button. And as I said, it's free. You will be informed when I put the post up. And if you have friends that need a wee bit of guidance at the moment, then feel free to share this post. Until next time, my name is Marion Foy, and I hope that I can help you to be the best that you can be. Take care. That's not what I want.